Hey, my name is Christian Bassnight and you're watching Grand Slam Tennis News Today. The 2023 Western and Southern Open has arrived, which means it's time to preview the draw and make predictions, first starting with the women. Taking a look at the projected quarterfinals, you can see that this field is absolutely loaded. Iga could face defending champ Caroline Garcia, while Aryna might take on Coco. We could see a rematch of the DC semifinals with Sabalenka Pegula, and then a Wimbledon semifinal rematch between Ons Jabeur and Aryna Sabalenka. Iga Swiatek might have the worst draw out of all the top seeds. She could play Danielle Collins again here in the second round. And Iga did beat her in 3 sets in the Montreal quarterfinals, though Collins did push her quite a bit in that match. Now, Danielle might lay down as she tends to not perform as well in the earlier rounds of these tournaments. Qinwen Zheng is there too, and she won her maiden title in Palermo a few weeks back, but she still has not really fully hit her stride. Legend Venus Williams is also here, fighting in yet another tournament, and she gets another seed in Veronika Kudermetova, which is kind of winnable in my opinion, as the Russian hasn't played since Wimbledon due to injury problems. Venus looked okay in my opinion in that Montreal match against Madison Keys, but I feel like if she can bring her kind of top level for her standards at this moment, like I said, she can possibly get the upset and beat Kudermetova. In the bottom half of this little section, there's Wimbledon champion Marketa Vondrousova, who opens against countrywoman Katerina Siniakova. That could be a tricky match for Marketa, as Katerina is a sneaky good opponent, especially she's an opponent that you really don't want to see in the earlier rounds of these big tournaments. Sloane Stephens is another dangerous floater here, and she's been playing very well lately, and I can definitely see her taking down Caroline Garcia in round 2, as the Frenchwoman has been off practically all season. Sloane Stephens is another dangerous floater here, and she's been playing pretty well recently, and I can definitely see her taking down Caroline Garcia in round 2, as the Frenchwoman has been off practically all season. She's also the defending champion here, so she has that added pressure of defending a lot of points. Although she might have some challenges, in the third or quarterfinals, I think the Eagles should be fine to win this section. Next is Rybakina's section, and she also has a pretty difficult draw on her hands. She could either open up against familiar foe Jelena Ostapenko or Karolina Pliskova, who looked in better form last week when she played Iga in Montreal. Rybakina also has some question marks surrounding her physicality, as she was dealing with some shoulder issues in that Montreal semifinal match, and then she also said that she felt destroyed after playing all that tennis back-to-back in Canada. Belinda Bencic is the Kazakh's projected third round opponent, the Swiss woman coming off a quarters appearance in Canada. Now, the runner-up from last year's Cincy tournament, Kvitova, was dealing with a hip injury in that Bencic match, so there are some question marks surrounding her form and overall physicality too. Samsonova also has some question marks as well, with all the tennis that she's played lately. She looked dog-tired in her Montreal finals today against Pegula, where she only won one game in 48 minutes. I think that presents a big opportunity for Coco Gauff, who's been playing outstanding tennis lately, winning DC and nearly falling to eventual champion Pegula in Montreal. I also think her biggest threat on paper in Rybakina might feel a bit fatigued by the time that they play their hypothetical quarterfinal matchup, so I'm having the American teenager progress to the semifinals. The third section belongs to Montreal champion Jessica Pegula, and at the top there's Maria Sakkari, who had a great week in Washington to open up the summer hardcourt swing, where she made the finals before being shut up by Danielle Collins in her opening round match in Montreal. The Greek woman does not really have a great draw, to be honest. She'll open up against either Ekaterina Alexandrova or Sorana Cirstea, who are both dangerous players. It won't get any easier for Maria, as she could face Roland Garros finalist Karolina Muchova or Beatrice Haddad-Maia in round 3. Muchova looked the stronger of the two in Canada, pushing Swiatek 6-4 in the third, playing solid tennis. I pick her to win that one against the Brazilian. If Karolina does reach the third round, I know Maria won't be happy at all, as the Czech has won their last 3 matchups. I don't see Maria moving through to make the quarterfinals anyways. Moving down, Americans Madison Keys and Jessica Pegula are on course to meet in the third round, but Maddie has some question marks surrounding her too, as she had to pull out of Canada due to a hip injury. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if Felisa took down the 2019 champion. On the other hand, Pegula will likely be tired from going deep in both DC and Montreal back-to-back, so I could see her failing to make it out of this little part too. Overall, I feel like this section has the most opportunity, and I do think that we'll see a quote surprise semifinalist. This isn't really a totally wild pick, but I'm choosing Karolina Muchova to make the final 4. Lastly, Aryna Sabalenka section is where things get really interesting, as at the top we see Ons Jabeur, who returns after that heartbreaking Wimbledon loss. An apparent knee injury kept Jabeur out of Montreal, but the Tunisian should be happy that she has a decent draw to play herself into form here in Cincy, as neither Lin Ju nor Angelina Kalinina are playing that great. Jen Brady has been on the comeback trail this summer, and she's been playing really solid tennis, pushing Rybakina to the brink in Montreal. Brady opens against Donna Vekic, which is a pretty winnable match for her. The winner of that one will face a major champion, either Victoria Azarenka or Barbora Krejcikova. Both of these two ladies have had injury issues recently, Krejcikova pulling out of Wimbledon due to a leg issue, and Azarenka pulling the plug on her Montreal tournament. Still, it's going to be a blockbuster matchup that you gotta see. Regardless, I'm going to put a lot of stock in the Jen Brady hype train, and I will have her make the quarterfinals. 10th seed Daria Kasatkina is also present, and she had that heartbreaking loss to Rybakina in the Montreal quarterfinals where it lasted over 3.5 hours. She could yet again face Elena Svitolina in round 2, but the Ukrainian has to first get by fellow mama Caroline Wozniacki, who's playing her second tournament since returning to the tour. Elena didn't look that solid in her Montreal loss to Danielle Collins, but I'll give her a pass because of all the tournaments she played since coming back from maternity leave. She was probably tired in Canada. Svitolina leads the head-to-head with Wozniacki 4-1, and while Carol played solid in Canada, I think she needs a few more match reps before she takes down a player of Svitolina's caliber. Then lastly, all the way at the bottom is second seed Aryna Sabalenka, who made the semifinals here in Cincy last year. Aryna dealt with service issues bad this week in Canada, serving 19 double faults in her 2 Montreal matches. If she can get her serve under control, she can win the title straight up, but honestly that's kind of a big if with how ugly she served. I still have faith in my girl Aryna, which is why I'm sending her through to the semis. So to recap, I have Iga and Coco facing off in the semifinals, with Gauff reaching the finals. Then between Muchova and Sabalenka, I have Aryna get revenge and join the American. And then in the finals, I'm going with Gauff again to take the title. I know me picking Coco over Iga might seem really stupid considering the fact that Gauff has never even won a set over the pole in their 7 previous meetings. But first, there's a chance that Iga doesn't even reach the semifinals, and then if she does, Gauff has literally been playing the best tennis of her entire career thus far, and she came within 2 points from beating Pegula, who beat Iga. Obviously the matchups are different, but I think Gauff's serve, forehands, and now confidence have improved to the point where she is ready to conquer the world's top 2 players and bring home 1,000 title. Let me know what y'all think about my preview and predictions in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post my men's Cincinnati preview. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.